Namaskar. We will talk about importance of fat. There are different type of fatty acids, there are different type of oils, and we all are mostly confused which one, what and how much. So let's understand, decode the fats. To start with, fats are actually divided into a saturated fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acid. Saturated fatty acids have cholesterol in them, especially animal food. So your dairies, your egg yolks, or your non-vegetarian, especially with fat, has good amount of cholesterol. Plant food do not have cholesterol in them. So it is saturated fat. Coconut oil, palm oil as vegetable fat also has saturated fat. They also are needed in our diet, but the quantity of saturated fat, like ghee for example, is 1 to 2 teaspoons per day. And because you have dairy, if you do not have dairy or vegan food, then you do not have any kind of saturated fat in your diet. But if you generally have dairy, it contributes to good amount of saturated fat. We come to the next part, which is unsaturated fatty acids. The unsaturated fatty acids are of two types. Omega-6 and 3 are part of unsaturated fatty acids. They are monounsaturated fatty acids and polyunsaturated fatty acids. Mono are essential part of my diet. They are mostly omega-9. Most of my cooking oils have decent amount of omega-9. Especially mustard oil and canola have very good amount of this MUFA. Other oils also have MUFA, but to a small extent. So if you are a mustard oil taker, you should use it on a routine basis, and others who do not use mustard oil should use oils in rotation. So omega-9 contribution is from the food what we eat, because every food has its own fat. Have you imagined mustard giving you an oil, rice bran giving you an oil? So the food has its own invisible fat which contributes to the fatty acids. And what we add from the top in cooking or in salad dressing and all that also contributes to the oil or the fat. So omega-9 MUFA is present in your own food, what you eat as an invisible fat, and on the top what we add to a certain extent. Then we come to the PUFAs, that is polyunsaturated fatty acids. PUFAs are actually the essential fatty acids which we need in my diet on a regular basis. My body cannot make essential fatty acids. They are omega-6 and omega-3. They are called long chain PUFA. Why are we talking so much about these fats, friends? Because fat helps me to have a good health, especially at a cellular level. Let's understand how this fat is essential to my health. They are building blocks of my cellular cell membrane. Omega-6 has its own function and omega-3 has its own function. They are more about antagonists to each other. Omega-6 contributes to my internal cellular health, and omega-3 contributes to my neurological health. My nerve cells are better because of cells. The growth, the development, the immune system, my especially brain cells in pregnancy, when my body has a higher demand of growth, my omega-6, omega-3 plays a very important role. It also has a role to play in your eye health. So in such scenarios, I don't make it in my body, so hence we are discussing that, because my body needs it from my food. So omega-6 and omega-3 is what we'll try to understand in my diet. So omega-6, most of my diet has good amount of omega-6 in my diet, especially cooking oils. Omega-6 is present in all the foods what I eat in a good quantity. And my diet can contribute, or my food can contribute around 60 milligram of omega-6 through a routine basis. That's a very good amount of omega-6 which I can contribute to the diet, and it may not actually give me a kind of deficiency. What is important to know is the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. Omega-3 has an anti-inflammatory support. If I have very high amount of omega-6 which is available to cooking oils through my foods, especially the cooking oils, omega-3 cannot make up, because my cooking oils do not have a very good amount of omega-3. And hence it's very important to remember that if you use a very high amount of oil at your house or cooking visible fat, you end up getting more of omega-6. You can't balance omega-3. In such cases, your inflammations, your allergies, your immune system, your mental health, so many areas of your body really starts going into a haywire because the balance of omega-6 and omega-3 is not there. Talking about omega-3, it has a good component of ALA, alpha linoleic acid, which gets converted into EPA and DHA, and my body makes EPA and DHA. If I have vegetarian sources of omega-3, like my plant foods have omega-3, my nuts have omega-3, my seeds have omega-3, pulses also have omega-3. If I eat a balanced diet, I may get omega-3 from the diet. The whole challenge is my oils don't have very high amount of omega-3. It's only the mustard oil, the canola oil, the flaxseed oil, walnut oil. These can give me good amount of omega-3. So need to balance. If you have a higher omega-6, I need to push these foods in my diet. So generally we say that limit your visible cooking oil to 20 grams per day. Do not go beyond it. You eat your fat mostly from your food. Your food has its own fat. Just 2 to 3 teaspoons of cooking oil per day per person is more than enough. You can count your cooking oil at home by saying 500 milliliter per person per month. Start blending your oils, start rotating your oils for best oils, and you get the best out of it. So remember friends, to get a best balance of omega-3 to omega-6, to get best immune health, best anti-inflammatory, to reduce your infection, inflammation, good hair, skin, eyes, you need a good balance of these 2 fatty acids in your diet. And this can be very well maintained through my combination meals, my nuts and seeds in the diet, and my balancing of vegetables, lentils and grains in my diet. So remember, in breakfast, 1/5 of my nuts is a good source, plus my breakfast of homemade breakfast of my choice, not the ready to eat breakfast. Eggs are also a very good source of omega-3. Cholesterol is present, but they're a very good source of omega-3. Then you start looking at your lunch, where you have dals and you have your vegetables and you have your salads and seed chutneys, again a good combination. So you don't need a lot of fat to add as cooking oil. So start putting the concept of combination, integrated, and control the amount of visible fat, because that is not what is contributing to a large amount of omega-3. You need food to help you to get the omega-3 there. I hope you like this video. Do try to learn about science behind the food and then start applying it. Thank you very much for your patience.